Right, here's Sally, a teenage Westie, and me. I always check that out because it's Sally and I, of course. That doesn't work. No, it is Sally and I, that's right. Sally and I, because it's Sally and I are at the Ormidale Hotel, not Sally and me, so that's the correct English. And there it is. Isn't that great with the umbrellas and everything and the flowers? Looking nice. Well, that's better. It was a little bit dark, that picture, for a second. Hasn't changed since it was built. Okay. Okay, so we're just starting a wee walk from here. Hopefully Sally will follow me. Yes, she will. And we're taking a little shortcut through what I call the Ormidale Woods, which I don't actually know if that's what they're called or not, but that's what I'll call them. The rope swing there. And Sally. Little acorns lying about the place as well. Yep, that's an acorn, Sally. And this is what the woods look like. And on my left is the Ormidale Park, just through those trees. Maybe see the grassy bit there. That's where that is. There we go. Well, maybe you can't. Anyway, that is grass through there. That is in fact, that'll be the AstroTurf hockey pitch is what I'm looking at there. Think about it. Yeah, just looks like grass. But anyway, that's where the Ormidale Park is. And we've just got this lovely little wood right above it. And it's got two paths that run alongside each other. And Sally, she takes her time in this wood because it's natural. There's nothing unnatural about this. It's just a jumble of very tall trees, and there we go. It starts me looking straight up at the sky, straight up. A bit of blue up there. Perfect day for it because we've got some sunshine, but it's just sunny intervals, and it's windy, breezy, which you can probably hear. You can probably hear the wind in the trees. So that's keeping us nice and cool. This is perfect for Sally. And to be honest, I like this as well. You can do anything with it like this. So anyway, what I thought I would talk about today is, funny enough, a word I looked up last night, the night before, just because I didn't know what it meant, and that was sideburns, as it happens. And if you don't know what they are, there's a sideburn. There's another one on the other side. Not a very impressive one, but that might change. And just that wee hairy strip there inside your face. And I wondered why they were called sideburns. There's the other path there. Very nice. And the grass in there. So I looked it up. In fact, I saw it on the telly. That's what it was. Yeah, there was a telly program about Scottish history and stuff. And anyway, they had the. That's what it was. That's where I saw the sideburns thing. And they had all these guys lined up with muskets hundreds of years ago, ready to fire in a line, as you do in battle in those days. And the man beside you would fire his musket, and off to the side the charge would ignite in the musket and fire the round, and it would create a flash coming out the side of the gun, not towards the fire but away from the fire. That's the way it was designed. So you got this flash. So if you were all lined up in a line firing the muskets, when the man beside you fired his gun, he would burn the side of your head with the flash from his gun. That's the name sideburn. So it's funny how some words disappear so rapidly, even after hundreds of years. Nowadays they can disappear very rapidly, and yet some of them are maintained even though nobody really knows what they mean. And sideburn is a good example of that one. I didn't know what that was till I saw that the other day, a couple of days ago. From firing musket rounds. I don't know how many hundreds of years ago that was. Must be 200 or 300 maybe, I don't know. I suppose it told me in the programme, but I didn't pay attention to that bit. So, yeah, that's us out that wee path there. We're onto the road. We're just going along this road and into the field, and that's us. I'm doing that deliberately because I want to see what the field is like. Because I think it might be covered in flowers at this time of year. So, anyway, so there we go. So sideburns, people still use them, that term. I guess that's a name for something, so that's an object. Maybe that's why that word survived when some other ones haven't. A long time ago, quite a while ago, I said at work that I was sending everybody at the Calmac desk to Coventry because they were all being so daft, which is ironic because it's usually me that's been daft. But anyway, and the 4 or 5 of them were there, whatever, all didn't know what the heck I was talking about, sending them to Coventry. They'd never heard it. And so I actually looked that up as well, and being sent to Coventry that was the centre of all executions in Britain. So if you were sent to Coventry, you never get seen again because you were being executed and nobody ever came back. But none of them knew that meant, in modern terms, to be ignored, or so even the modern definition had gone. None of them had heard the expression before. So there's one that's gone, an expression that's gone, and maybe that's gone because it's not an object. Maybe just because it's just an expression. Sally going around that way. I'll go around the other side of the car, I think. Sometimes people will use the term, I'm getting steaming. That's another one. Steaming, that used to be when the pubs were shut on a Sunday, you couldn't get a drink anywhere. The only place you could get a drink was on a steamboat. So people would go from Glasgow, for example, and get on a steamboat and just get on it to get steaming, to get drunk, because that's the only place that you could get a drink on a Sunday. They were allowed to sell alcohol because they weren't land-based, whereas everything else was shut. So that's how you got steaming. Another one I can think of, someone says you're so poor you haven't even got a pot to piss in, excuse the language, but that's a real expression, and that's real as well, and it goes back hundreds of years. If you were the poorest of the poor and you had nothing, if you had a pot, at least you could pee in it, or piss in it in this case, and you could sell your pee to the tannery, I think it was called, and they could use that to dye materials with it. It was used as a kind of dye, and so you could sell your piss, so to speak, but you couldn't if you didn't have a pot to piss in. If you were literally so poor that you didn't even have a pot at all, you had nothing, you were just like possessionless, that's what you were. You were too poor, you're so poor you didn't even have a pot to piss in. You couldn't even sell your own pee. You had to, you just couldn't do that, and that's the poorest of the poor. I'll just pick the camera up here just for a second. That's a nice view there. Behind that house, and the mountains over there as well. There we go. Good dog Sally, just waiting there. Okay, nearly at the end of the road. She gets a bit bored with these things, walking on the pavement and stuff. She prefers to be on the grass, but I'm doing it for a reason. So we're almost there, Sally, and it's a bit hot in the sun as well, because we're out of the forest. When we were in the wood, of course, that was nice and cool, and there was a breeze, funnily enough, in the wood, but there isn't a breeze out of the wood, and that seems a bit strange when you think about it as well. because you'd imagine it would be less breezy in the wood with all the trees and things. It must just be kind of fun one through or something. But anyway, right, here we are, just a bit across the road here. I'll just take a shot down this hill here. Police Road, that's what it's called. Have to watch out because Sally's not quite with me, just in case a car comes. But there's the view going down Police Road. There she comes. Okay, come on, Sal. There we go. Come on. Because there's a car coming now, but she's almost here. Uphill, in the hot, and on the tarmac. Right, we're onto the grass. Okay, so I think 3 years ago I came here with Sally and I took a photo of Sally in this field. I think it was 3 years, might have been 2, but I think it was 3. Yeah, she's sniffing about back there. Here she comes. And it was a sea of purple flowers. I don't know what these flowers are called. And I just thought I'd come up and see if they are. I could have come when they're past their best or not quite at their best, I really don't know. But to be honest, there are quite a lot of purple flowers here, so I've not duffed it all together. In the past, wider than I remember. This is substantial by the standards of this field anyway, path. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that's pretty purpley. That's pretty good, isn't it? Here she comes Sal. Have a look there. We'll just carry on through this field anyway. Yeah. And from memory, there certainly was a path. Oh, maybe it's just coming up. Yeah, because there's a horsey field. That's what I call it. A horsey field. Then the one above this one for horsey people and horses. I like horses, but I'm not a horsey person. I don't know much about them. I've never ridden one. And actually, when it comes down to it, I've been in Arran 38 years. I know there are exceptions to every rule, but you can pretty much make a rule if you've never seen the exception. I have never seen a man on a horse. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people on horses and horse journeys and things going past in different villages. But I've never seen a man on a horse, so I guess it's not something that appeals so much to men as to women for whatever reason. And to be honest, although I like them, it doesn't appeal so much to me to be riding horses. I've never really felt I've got a longing to do that. Brodick Beach, really nice round the far side of Brodick Beach. There's a lot of sand round there. In fact, you can just see the castle there as well. Let's go on the right hand side. There we go. Camera's just strong enough to do that. My waterproof camera. I'll bring it back again. Sally's off and running. Because I stopped. Well, she's stopping now. Okay, Sal, I'm overtaking you. So yeah, I might be concentrating on the flowers, haven't I? This is better. Look at this. Right. I'll lift the camera up a bit so we can get a better view. That's quite a lot of purple flowers. And I think that might be even more purple flowers. That's a lot of purple flowers. if anybody says that this field doesn't have purple flowers in it, well, maybe they could say lilac, I suppose. I was going to say they'd be talking rubbish, but I could be. If we're calling them purple, and that isn't purple, is it pink? Lilac? What's the other names for things like that? Well, look how far ahead Sally's gone. Good grief. And when we're at it, what does mauve mean? I know how to spell it at least. M-A-U-V-E. What is mauve? Is that mauve? That's a stunning sight, isn't it? Wasn't it worth coming up here? Look at this. And that's just chance. I just thought, it's the summertime. I'll have a look and see if the flowers are out there. I want to try something else now. I seem to remember reading instructions and you can take a photo while you're filming, so I'm going to press the photo button. See if I can get a photo. In fact, I'll zoom in. There we go. Because she's horsing on, isn't she? Right, that's me trying to get a photo while I'm filming. That's an experiment. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to have to catch up with Sally. Good grief. Well, there she is. Looking back. It's like, she's doing a lot better when it's grass. She likes the grass, doesn't she? Even when it's like long and a little bit bumpy like this. She likes it a lot better than the tarmac. Look at that. Right, so having established that I don't know the name of the flower or the colour of the flower, and I have known in the past the name of this field as well, I would add, but I've forgotten that also. So I don't know very much. And there's only two explanations for that. One, I've worked far too hard all my life and I've not really put enough time aside for learning things. Or two, there might be three explanations actually. I'm just daft. That's possibly the most likely. Or three, I've known these things like, what was it? It's a Crocodile Field. It's coming back to me. Crocodile Field. Thank goodness. That must be the Omega oils just coming, just saving me in the nick of time there. Crocodile Field. That's what it is. I don't remember why it's called the Crocodile Field. Right, now we're coming to the wee bridge. See if Sally can manage it on her own. I'm not sure about this, but we'll see. I think I might lift her. In fact, I'm going to, because she looks like she wants lifted. Second. Right, we'll follow the ears. The ears have it. I'm panting, Sally. A bit too hot for you. There we go. Put her down here. There we go. Back downhill anyway. That's her done her job. She knows what she's doing. There we go. And back up the hill. Oh, pardon me. Trying that sneeze there. That takes you to Lash, that path. Right up over the top of the hill. And this one takes me down to Alma Road with the Glenartney Hotel on the right. There we go. Must have been all those mauve flowers, whatever they are, making me sneeze. Getting a bit of pollen. And the view there, quite a few old stone houses in a row there. That's quite nice to see, isn't it? So that view's unchanged for a couple of 100 years. There's Sally. Oh, she just stands. And on the other side it's the same really, because in front of me is an old stone building. That's an old stone building there. I don't know how old the Glenartney Hotel is, but it's not new. So this is really unchanged for quite a long time. Very nice, isn't it? Right, we'll just zoom in on Sally. And what I'll do is Okay, adios.